Welcome to the channel. In the last couple of videos, we finished working with the login block, and now we're going to the sign up block. After this, we will start working on the UI, the front end, the widgets. We'll connect everything via the main.dat file, and we can start working with the UI. It's more gratifying, I feel, when you can see what you're building, and you see when you can build and actually see it on the screen, on the simulator rather. Yeah, but as you know, block contains a little boilerplate, and we need to get through that fast. But first things first, I noticed that there was one, I think we didn't have all the classes in the login event. We forgot about one event, that is the submitted event. So we will correct that quickly, and then we will move on. The advantage of the sign up looks almost exactly like the login. So there'll be a lot of code reuse, and that will save us a bit of time here and there. So yeah, so this video will be a bit shorter than the previous two, and because a lot of it is the same, our sign up and login, it's basically just two text fields where you enter your email and password, and then later on is when you're setting up your profile is where you give more information. So these are basically identical, just with different names. So let's get to correcting what is required in the login event, and from then on we can move forward with the sign up stuff. So our simulator with the finished article is on the right, and we'll continue with the correction that we were meant to make in the login event. So we come to the lib folder, and we go to the blocks, and we go to the login, and we go to the login event. Is usually the second last. And here we're going to have a new class. We can call it submitted. Submitted will extend, like all the classes, the login. Extend, if I can just get it correctly, extends login event. This is inheritance. I talked about it, I believe, and I also talked about mixing in another one of my series with provider, particularly how the change notifier provider works. And yeah, I believe that was the first series and the one on Hive. So I talk a bit about inheritance and mixins and all that there. But here we're just going to have a couple of final instances, few final instances. We could say final string of type string, which is basically the same. You could just copy the code in the login with credentials first. We could say string email, and we could have final string password, like so. So you could have this two, and of course these two are have the red squiggle under them. Let's give ourselves a bit more real estate by right clicking and creating the generator, or you could just press Command N on that is if you're using Android Studio on Mac. I don't know, I'm guessing it's the same, Control N and Windows, basically the same. So we could do this, and yeah, we create, but we need them to be named parameters, and these are going to be required. So you're going to need the annotation. So we'd come here, do this, come here. It's basically this with a different name, right? Like so. And after that, we override. We just do this. It's basically almost exactly the same as this, except the name. So we could copy this because we're going to compare them based on the email and password. I've talked about equatable and how equatable works with this. You can just look it in the previous videos if you don't follow the code to this extent about what this line does. I've explained it. And yeah, so that's basically it. We need it submitted, and now our login event is done for good. So we can close it and forget about it, and we can move on to the sign. Is it sign in or sign up? Login is sign in, so this is sign up. Yeah, sign up block. So that's what we're going to do next. Block. As always, we're going to use we're going to use the, what's it called, the plugin to create the SignUp block, or the block for the signup. First things first, we come here to block and we create a new package which will contain all the block files. The new package, it's going to be SignUp. The new block is going to be SignUp, so we could just say SignUp like so, and hit OK like this. And in the it's going to be SignUp. So in this, we're going to then hit the block generator, hit a new, and we call it SignUp like that. SignUp, and we hit OK like so. Give it a second, and yeah, it's built up. And so we have all the blocks. We have the block, the barrel file, the block file, the event file, and the state file. So we have all that is required, and a lot of it is just going to be copying code from login, because these are exactly the same, two text fields that do exactly the same thing with a button at the end. So basically, we're just going to copy a lot of code. I'm not going to explain it a lot. I'll assume that you followed me in the previous video before you got to this one, so you know a bit about what is going on. But I'll explain it a bit as we go along, so that just to reinforce. But most of the explanations were in the previous two videos. Continue. And as you can see, I'm on sign-up state, and basically everything is going to be exactly the same, actually. So what we could do is we could copy everything in the login state. I said I was in the sign-up state. I'm in the login state. Just copy everything, come to sign-up state, clean it out, paste it here like so. And after that, we could select the login state like so. And after that, we hit Control G to select all instances. And we're just going to change it to log to sign up instead of login. So we could do that and type sign up. We could type sign up state like so. So basically that's done. Let me, if I can explain very quickly what this code does, because it's exactly the same here and we have covered it in the previous two videos. So immutability means that all the instance fields have to be final, right? An immutable object, usually in OOP, that is object-oriented programming, is one whose state cannot be changed after it has been created. So that's why we're creating this with final. We're just marking this class as immutable. And after that, we create a getter. This getter provides my alarm has just gone off. Okay, let me just reset it. I use the Pomodoro technique to work in 25-minute blocks, and then yeah, it makes you a bit more productive. So after that, we add required, the annotation required from the package meta, so that whenever we're calling up sign up state, we make sure we pass all this, and we also make this named parameters. And after that, we start off with the what is usually the initial state, which is going to be empty. And after that, we have the loading, and after that, we have the failure in case it fails, success, and then we create the update and copy with methods, right? Yeah. A factory, I don't know if I have to say, a factory allows us to create different subclasses that will specify more information or stuff about the objects they create. If we can come back here, and empty is usually the initial state. We'll have to change it in the SignUp block. You see, we've written initial state. The initial state is supposed to be empty. So where is it? Yeah. So the initial state. This is the initial state. And about constructors, I talked about generative constructors and factory constructors. The difference is factory have return. If you want to know more about that, look at the previous two videos. It's in the previous two videos when we were building the login state. And after that, loading, we come to loading. Loading is the state of the login form, of the sign up form rather, when we are validating credentials, right? Failure is when things have not worked out and the login attempt has not been successful. Success is the opposite of that, when the login attempt has been successful. And update and copy with are functions which we'll use for convenience, and we'll use them in Bloc and things like that. I explained all this, and just go to the previous videos and you can see this. So that's basically the sign up state. You see, it's a lot faster than actually typing it all out, and if you already know what happened. And another thing maybe I've not explained is this is the null aware operator. Depending, other languages have different names for it. And basically what this does is, if I can go to I'm gonna open my browser and we go to, is it not, it's not that, it's Dartpad, it's called Dartpad, sorry. I was trying to think of, yeah, so basically it's the same example I had in the previous video. What this does is that it prints, if this evaluates to null, it prints the second one. So in this case, it will print 1 because 1 is not a null value. So if we hit run, we will get 1. And if we change this to and make it null, like so, yeah, we get 3. So this is the null aware. It's called the null aware operator. So it checks, is email valid being passed in, is it null? If it's null, it reverts to this. If not, just runs that. So basically that's what this line of code does. I explained it a bit more in the previous video. And as always, if you want more information about this, you can always check the documentation for BLoC. It's very well done. Just go to the it's called what, BLoC, is it BLoC library? Let me just check. It's called BLoC is it yes, so come here and BLoC library.dev. Wait, I think it's BLoC library.dev, like so. This is where all the information on BLoC is required. So you could just come here to get started, and has information about the core concept, the block, the events, the states, the transitions, the streams, the block delegate, which we'll be working on in the next video, and Flutter block. This is a bit of an abstraction that helps us with it, the one we're using right now. So if you need more information about this, just do not hesitate. Always consult the documentation. It's better done. Yeah, so basically this is the sign up state, and now we're going to the event, the sign up event. Continue with our login event, sign up event. And basically what we do is we come to login event, we copy everything and we put it there. It's basically same thing, no changes. So we could just hit copy, come to sign up, and no, that's the SignUp Bloc. Get rid of this, put this, pick the login event, select it, hit Control G so that you can select everywhere it is. Yeah, at the end. Yeah, so that's it. And after that, we say sign up event, like so. And yeah, basically that's it. And there are a few events. We could explain the events perhaps. I've talked about immutable, I've talked about abstract classes in previous videos. Just consult them. I've explained this line in previous videos. Now I just talked about what the various events do. So the email change, this one notifies the block when a user has changed the email. And the password change does the same for the password. And submitted, this one notifies the block when the user submitted the form. There'll be a form which we'll be building in the next video. And when the user does that, can be notified, and of course after that login with credentials pressed. When you press the big red button, it's not actually going to be big, it's not going to be red, but that's basically what it does. So those are the three that are done, and yeah, basically that's that. Exactly the same as the login event. The sign up event is more or less the same. So so basically we have that done. Now we can go into the blocks. You see, when you've done a block and it looks a bit like another block, it's a lot easier to go through. So we can now go into the sign up block. The sign up block is going to be a bit different from the login block. It's going to be a bit different. So we could just come first and start. We could go to the sign up block and we could clean everything out like so. Come back to the login block, copy everything, copy like so, come here, paste it, and after that we need to change can we just select the login, not the whole word. Let's just change login and come here and hit Control G, Control G, Control G, Control G, Control G, Control G, so that we just wait, mapping login with, okay, I think I've seen an issue with our copying. I think this should be map and sign up in the block here, in the so basically we copy it and we have to change all the logins to signups. So basically that's it. So I'm thinking, should I do it on camera or just fix it? Okay, let's just do it instead of thinking about it. We could say sign up like so. Come here, say sign up event, and sign up state like so. We could say sign up block like so, and let's change the login state, all the login states to sign up states. So we could just come here and hit Control G on the login states until we get to the end. Okay, we could say sign up state like so, and then after that we come here and we say sign up state. We could say the events. So we come here to login event and we select it, and then we hit Control G on all of them. Those are the only ones I'm guessing. And we could say sign up event like so, and we have corrected all of them. There aren't as many as I thought they were. Okay, so basically that, and let's just search for login. Okay, so we could call this sign up with credentials, and call this sign up with credentials, and then we come down here and we go for the next log. Sign up with credentials, and after that is another log. I think the more or less map password change to state map email change. Sign up with credentials pressed. How come? If the event is sign up with, let's go back to our events. Okay, sorry. We didn't get there. We didn't change this. I should change this. And the events, say sign up with credentials pressed. And here we say that's the pitfall of just copying code. Yeah, just make sure it's everything as it should be. Yeah, I think we have. I'll check later and see if we have made any errors. But we basically copied and reused as much code as possible. But of course, there are a few changes here and there that, for starters, here we will sign up state.loading. Here we will, yeah, this is correct. But here we will say in the user repository, if you can remember, if we go back to the user repository, they'll sign up with email and sign in. It's sign in with email and sign up with email. So on the block here, what we want is sign up with email, right? So we could say sign up with email, like so. Oh God, wait. Sign up with email, like so. And yeah, so basically that's that. So we have, I think, we can fairly say we have copied it and we have made the necessary changes. And if I can go through the SignUp block as quickly as possible and explain a few things. And of course, we're using, of course, the meta package. Where is the meta package? Okay. Yeah, the meta package adds the annotations, as you know. Here, what we're doing here is we are overriding the what's it called? We are overriding the transform events so that we can use the we can control the streams, so that we can give somebody a few seconds, like 300 milliseconds, from when they stop typing to when we validate what they have typed, so that we don't immediately validate. That's what we're doing. We're giving the user a bit of time to stop typing, so that we can debounce the email change and password change events, so that when it doesn't happen immediately, you give a bit of time and then the validation takes place. That's what we're doing with this piece of code. I've explained it a bit more in the I believe in the previous videos. So after that, this is the initial state, which is signup state.empty, and we can just check with the signup state, where signup state.empty. Yeah, so that's the initial, and yeah, and after that we going through the async. I believe I've explained this, and what happens when the email is changed and we pass in the email. We do that with the password. When the button is pressed, we pass in the email and the password. Yeah, basically that. Yeah, that's basically it. So I'm even stretching. Good. We have done the SignUp block in, I would say, in quick time and in a hurry. And yeah, basically that's that. So now I think we can start plotting how we put all this on the screen. You know, I've just been dealing with code without actually seeing what it represents. Flutter is very well known for its UI, and that's what attracted most of us to it. So now we can start hooking things up, and we can actually see it on the screen. And instead of running the finished article, we can now run instead of running the finished article, we can actually just run our code and see where we are on the process. As always, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. If you have a question, leave a question in the comments. And if you have a suggestion, you can also make a suggestion, and you can also start the repository on GitHub. Have a good day.